Hey, folks, this is Wayne S. Pierce for the American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Comey is finished. No, just hold on. Oh, hang on to your horses there, folks. Comey is done. Okay? Comey's done. Okay, that's number one off the list. Number two, on this list that I have is the fact that everything that these anti-Trump people in Washington, D.C. have thrown at President Trump has been completely and totally destroyed. Every accusation, every piece of so-called evidence they have has been debunked. Everything has been completely destroyed. Any narrative, any so-called evidence, anything against Trump has been destroyed. Now, we can take that two ways. We can take that two ways. We can either say, well, the system is working, and people under oath are, basically turning on one another. Or Donald Trump is the greatest magician alive. Okay? We can say that. Okay, but I'm sure the second one does not apply. I'm sure that when we ourselves, we the people, examine the very nature of these people. We examine these people. We look at everything that is there, okay? We look at where these people came from. We look at where these people are getting, their money, who's paying them. If we look at who is doing what, for whom, I think we'll find our answer. Okay? I think whatever questions we have concerning everything that is going on, I don't know, but I think we'll find our answer. My question to all the rhinos out there, my question to the likes of Rand Paul and all the others that are pro-Trump, of course, with exception. My question to you is, why is it, why is it y'all think that we the people don't know a damn thing? Oh, let me put the spotlight on you, shall I? You people think that we don't know a thing or two about what is going on behind the curtain with the shadow government deep state operatives. You think we're stupid. Well, let me turn that spotlight on to the Democrats. Or I should say dinos, Democrats in name only. You think the same thing. Well, let me tell you something, jackalopes. Yeah, I know I use that word. I'm trying to be funny because if I start really ranting, I'll get pissed. I don't want to do that. Let me tell you both something. Both of your parties are corrupt. Both of your parties need a total overhaul. You guys don't know what you're doing. You never have and you never will. And you got the likes of Al Franken up there being a, jester in the king's court, adding his bull crap to the mix. And, it's not funny anymore. Democratic socialists and Republican fascists, it's not funny anymore. You've allowed yourselves, I should say, you have turned a blind eye to people. You have refused recommendations of we the people. And you've totally allowed corruption to be in the nation's capital. Totally. And you expect us to give you a free pass? That ain't happening, okay? That ain't happening at all, all right? We're going to do everything we can. We, the people, are going to do everything we can to weed out, to search for and weed out every person who is corrupt, and we will expose them for who they are. Okay? We'll do that. Because as far as I personally am concerned, we don't need corruption in Washington, D.C. We don't need it. And that's just the way it is. And if Donald Trump is true to his nature and true to what he says and true to his understanding of what he would consider politics, then you Democratic Socialists and you Republican Fascists are completely and utterly gone within his first term. And I know you guys are hanging on to your power because you're paid by corporations that want to continue the corruption to get a free pass and a free ride. I understand this. I understand this. But let me point something out to you. Democrats, Republicans, independents, you people ain't going to get a free pass from we the people. No. So you better just zip your lips, shut the hell up, drop all your corrupt buddies that are funding you through your lobbyists and special interest groups, and listen to the American people. Okay? It's the only way you're ever going to survive. Okay? Now, a lot of people, let me switch gears for a second here. A lot of people say that the reason why things are going the way they are going is because of the fact that we, the people, have turned a blind eye to what's really going on. Oh, no. We've known what's been going on since President Ulysses S. Grant signed the Act of 1871. We've been going on. We've known what's been going on since Polk, since Woodrow Wilson, since Truman, since Eisenhower. We've been seeing this stuff play out in front of us throughout history, and for those old enough to know and understand what goes on, let me point something out to you, okay? I'm not a stupid person. I know my history. I sat for hours and hours and hours researching, investigating, looking into different, memos and different documents and all that. Believe me, I've done this. The San Joaquin County Library was my home for quite some time. All right. and I looked in history, we the people have known for quite some time what's been going on, and I guarantee you the only way that Washington, D.C. can survive right now, period, on this 12th of June 2017 is if President Donald Trump went into Congress and fired each and every single one of them people. I do not give one rip what you think is legal. He has to go in with his attorney general and say, you got two choices. Either walk out that door and go back in the private practice, or my attorney general is going to arrest each and every single one of you and go through each and every single one of your books. You want to drain the swamp, you got to pull the plug. That's just the way it is. That's the only way we're ever going to survive. And excuse me, I had to swallow and answer a message, and here's the thing, folks. Survival. Think about survival. Think about what you do as you survive. Think about what you need to do to survive. Okay? I mean, just think about that for a minute. And then ask yourself this question. What is impeding my survival? Well, politically, you and I know what that impedance is. Okay? We know this. We understand this. We got this. Okay? We know this. All right? We understand the impedance. We understand that the corruption is causing the impedance in the great nation of the United States of America to be greater than it ever has been in the last 150 years. We understand this. We know this. There's no question about that. But now what are we going to do to take that to the next level? To take that to the next level. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I believe, and this is my particular perspective, I believe that, as I said before, we need to pull the plug. Well, that's going to collapse the United States. No, people. No. 535 congressmen and women up there in Washington, D.C. are not the only ones that can run and do run this country. We have two places that these people can go to use what has been called the continuity of government. And they can use that not in a negative way, but in a positive way. There's two places they can go to, Greenbrier or Denver. Okay? I don't know why they want to go to Denver, but maybe there's things there that we still don't know about. Don't know. That's for a different program altogether. But I guarantee you that if we pull the plug on everybody there, in other words, let's put it this way. There are maybe out of 535 congressmen and women up there and all their people and whatever, just Congress itself, maybe 30 or 40, maybe 50 of them will stay. But those aren't going to be the majority telling the rest of them what to do, when to do it, why to do it, and how. It's going to be those 35 to 50 people that are going to be doing what the American people want done, and get people in there that are going to do the right thing. This is how the United States of America can survive. Now, we're talking survival here. What other aspects of survival of the American culture and the United States of America do we see? Well, first of all, let me go on to this little sidetrack over here and just ask you about prophecy, ask you about prognostications, ask you about what history has taught us and what trends have been followed to promote or allow the survival of the United States of America. Or, we all got it. Let's look at this too. Let's look at what has been talked about, has been claimed through prophecy, through trends, through you name it, fill in the blanks. What has been said about the fall or the destruction of the United States of America? Okay? We really need to understand each and every level of the facets of the political arena we call Washington, D.C. We got to look at everything, because I'm sure there's good people up there. I'm sure there's fantastic people up there that could take over, Congress and just rule everybody invalid and just say, you know what, here's what we're going to do. The president says this is what we're going to do. Well, isn't that a dictatorship? No, it's not. Okay? It's not. How many countries, industrialized, westernized countries, have as many, quote-unquote, Congress people in their government as we do? Not very many, if any at all. So, how do you justify the complete and utter corruption of the politicians in Washington, D.C. that are on both sides of the aisle? How do you justify the incredible just destructive nature of these people? How do you justify that? I don't see any justification in that myself personally. I don't. And I really think, and this is just me, I really think that if we were to put normal, everyday people into Congress, if we were to put the truck driver, not the banker so much, but the truck driver, the teacher, the janitor, the police officer, the doctor, if we put normal people into Congress, the farmer that's still, farming his land out here in America, if we were to put normal people there, how much better do you think the United States of America would be able to survive? Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, you know what? I'm going to take a little break right now. Almost a minute and a half. I'll be back. This is American Liberty Radio on Spreaker.com. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com is the website. Talk to you in a bit. Be right back after this.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and it was good. Then God created man, and it wasn't bad. But the masses were asses. They were lost. They had no guidance. So God sat and thought about it. And he created The Exum Experience. And God sent forth Alex to entertain the people of Israel, the Canaanites, the Palestinians, and the douchebags. And Alex led his flock through the dark, cold, rugged terrain of Long Beach Radio. He conquered the Hmong's, he cast down the elderly, and banished the Falburn. And it was good. The Exum Experience. It's not just a show, it's a religious experience.
Join me live Friday at 5 only at alexexum.com.
There's a show that's not afraid to ask questions no one else will ask. Not afraid to say
what no one else will say.
Friday nights at 7 p.m. Listen to Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie, where no topic is off limits. Conspiracy theories, paranormal activities, hoaxes, the unexplained. It's what we talk about. Question everything. Trust no one. Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie. Friday at 7 p.m. on the KCOR Digital Radio Network out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Well, hey, welcome back. Welcome back. I know, a little dead air there. I'm sorry. Couldn't hit the right button. This is what happens when you work without plenty of coffee. Speaking of coffee, you can help me be caffeinated if you would like. Hey, why don't you, I like coffee. I like all sorts of coffee. I like caramel, a little caramel something there. We went to this local establishment here in town in Billings, and my God, they are much, much better than the national brand. And it's just, I got to tell you, man, go to your local shops. Shop local. I mean, seriously, I cannot emphasize that more. Shop local. It's amazing what you find. It's amazing the people you meet. But if you want to keep me caffeinated, that's awesome. I would like that. I like my coffee. I'm sure you do too. Go to AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. That's our backup site. I'm working on the main site right now. Go to our backup site, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. And go to the sponsors page. And right there should be Become a Patron. That's my Patreon link. Drop $1 in the kitty to not only keep me caffeinated, but to keep the lights on around here, folks. Getting down to that crucial time of the month, and so if you guys can help, hey, that would be awesome. So you guys rock, man. So AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Go to the sponsors page. If you want to advertise on the network, you can. All the information is right there, and it's not going to change. It's all right there. And if you want to become a patron and keep me caffeinated, that's fine too. So there should be a link right there. Click that, drop $1 in the kitty, and you're good to go. So, folks, you guys are awesome. Let's move on to something else. I really, now here's something that I want to get to, because I saw this yesterday and I didn't quite, and over the weekend I didn't do a, excuse me, see, a little, almost a yawn there. I didn't want to yawn, okay? You got to keep me caffeinated, folks. Keep me going. Let me, I had a message from somebody during the break, so let me finish off this message, and I'll get to what, I saw this last night, and hopefully it's still there on the site, but I just believe that people, I mean, I believe in my heart of hearts that people are really good, okay? I'm just saying. I know that people mean well. Here's how I want to start this out. I know people mean well. All right? I know this. Let's just put that right there next to what I'm about to say. I know people mean well. Okay? Now, I'm looking on the site that I saw the thing yesterday, and I can't. It's at Infowars.com, but I can't see it on their current page. So let me say this. I know people mean well. Let's just put that there. Oh, here's something that is related. I can't find the article that I saw yesterday. It's probably through their system already. But here's something that's related to this. Now, when I heard about Jeff Sessions becoming Attorney General, I thought, excellent, awesome. Okay, that is like one of the things that that it's just incredible when I heard the news that Jeff Sessions was going to be Attorney General. And it made me feel as if America was getting back on the right track. Now, again, remember, over on the side, I know people mean well. All right? So let's just put that right there. People mean well. All right? Paul Gaddis at AL.com. Let me go check that. AL.com. Okay. Let me actually. I hit the button on the tab and it went back to Infowars.com. So let me go to AL.com. That's their link they're using for this article that I'm going to read by Paul Gaddis. Okay. P. Gaddis at AL.com. Attorney General Jeff Sessions to testify before Senate Intelligence Committee. This is 10th of June, 2017. It was updated 2 days ago. Paul Gaddis, AL.com. U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions, the former Alabama senator, will appear before the Senate Intelligence Committee on Tuesday. Sessions will speak to the committee in the wake of former FBI Director James Comey testimony Thursday that raised questions about the AG's meetings with Russian officials before President Trump was sworn into office and while Sessions was still a senator. Okay. They're trying to get Jeff Sessions on influence peddling. Okay, they're trying to catch him in their little leftist trap is what they're trying to do. Quote, in the light of reports regarding Mr. Comey's recent testimony before the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, it is important that I have opportunity to address these matters in the appropriate forum, unquote, Sessions said in a Saturday letter to a House Appropriations Subcommittee. To a House Appropriations Subcommittee. Okay, that's how they do stuff over there, I guess. Quote, the Senate Intelligence Committee is the most appropriate forum for such matters as it has been conducting an investigation and has access to relevant classified information, unquote. Okay, so far so good. Now, I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying if I were to stop right there, you would see that the left is basically on a witch hunt. Okay, that's what they're doing. All right. But apparently, Attorney General Sessions has volunteered to come forward to give his particular perspective on this. Okay? The letter was addressed to the House Appropriations Subcommittee for Commerce, Justice, Science, and Related Agencies. Sessions was informed the subcommittee was informing the subcommittee he could not meet with them as scheduled on Tuesday because of his appearance before the Senate Intel Committee. The Justice Department official said that Sessions' hearings will probably be closed to the public The Washington Post reported, probably be closed to the public. Chances are there's going to be a leak. Look for that. Sessions has previously acknowledged 2 meetings with Russian diplomats before Trump took office. Sessions said he met with the Russian ambassador Sergei Kislyak in his role as a senator, not as a surrogate for the Trump campaign, which, of course, that has already been seen, folks. That's already been proven. So the left has shot themselves in that regard. Sessions was confirmed by the Senate as Attorney General in February. Comey indicated that there may have been other meetings with the Russians that Sessions has not disclosed, which, of course, has also been debunked. He has come out and said no. Sessions has denied any meetings beyond the 2 previously acknowledged. After acknowledging the meetings, Sessions recused himself, basically rescuing himself, recused himself from the Department of Justice investigation into the relationship with Trump and Russia, which, of course, FBI people, all of that, have come out and said there is no collusion from the Russians into the 2016 presidential election that got Trump into office. Period. There is no evidence whatsoever. Period. End of sentence. Go away. Stick your head in the sand because you don't know what you're talking about, lefties. Okay? Trump has criticized Sessions, bad blood, for stepping aside, and tensions between the two led Sessions to offer his resignation, according to reports. I heard about this Saturday, excuse me. House Minority Leader, oh my God, Nancy Pelosi, has called on Sessions to resign in the aftermath of Comey's testimony. U.S. Representative Mo Brooks, Republican of Huntsville, voiced support for Sessions following the Comey testimony. Quote, I'm quite confident Jeff Sessions did what he was supposed to do, and I'm also quite confident that former FBI Director Comey's remarks are consistent with what we know about how honorable a man Jeff Sessions is, unquote, Brooks said during an appearance on MSNBC Thursday. Doesn't give too much information because the other article I saw gave a little bit more detail. But I want to make people aware of exactly what is happening within the swamp. Okay? I just want you to be aware of what's happening in the swamp. Okay? I just putting it out there. You guys are smart enough to go and find this stuff on your own and find additional information. Okay? Ooh, bottom of the hour. Yeah, a little late, but I'm going to go to break. I'll be right back. Don't go away. Yeah, give me that information. American Liberty Radio at USA.com, American Liberty Radio at USA.com, or American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook. And, hey, I'll email you back with a reply. Talk to you in a bit, right after this.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
This would be the time because you really need to bring China into the creation of a new world order.
In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire for a safe and secure society.
So this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause.
is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com.
Hello, everybody. This is Brian Lang with Live Truth Radio and TV. You're listening to Wayne S. Pierce with American Liberty Radio.
Hey, folks, how you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce for American Liberty Radio Network. Thank you, Brian Lang, over at LiveTruthRadio.com. How are you? What a morning. What a morning. Yes, I have my caffeine. I'm all set. I'm good. Hey, let me remind you that tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on American Liberty Radio Network, will be The Truth Experience, live right in your ears this evening on the 12th of June, 2017. 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, The Truth Experience right here on American Liberty Radio Network. You can go to AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com to check out the show and jump in the chat room there and tonight, and we'll chit-chat. How's that? Okay. Yeah, let me go over to the website, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Oh, by the way, no chat room over there. But you can click on the little thought bubble right there, the second one over from the left on the player, on the embedded player there on the website, and chat with me on the Spreaker side of things tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern on The Truth Experience right here on American Liberty Radio Network. So there you go. That's why I'm not really going into a whole lot of news, because I'm saving it up for tonight. I want to say this. I put this on American Liberty Radio podcast because I want people to know the real bottom line, how I feel about everybody else telling me that I'm wrong. I'm not necessarily wrong if I've overlooked something. It just means that I overlooked something. I may have missed something. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm wrong. But yet again, I'm not completely right about a lot of stuff, because there's a lot of stuff out there I haven't seen yet. So there you go. All right? There you go. Anyway, I said it before. I mentioned it a little bit during the last segment, and I'll say it again here. There's no evidence for the case of obstruction of justice. There's no Russian assistance in the 2016 elections. No one has any credible evidence. Get your effing heads out of your asses and realize it's all a damn game. Both sides are playing us. Both sides. The whole political landscape and environment is corrupt to the core. President Trump is just a bobblehead in a suit. You stupid Democratic socialists are dumb as a box of freaking rocks. You got nothing. And you Republican fascists are no better. Get on the side of the people and get the F out of the country. Don't like me saying that? Bite me. Now, apparently I have your attention. None of the politicians you supposedly, quote-unquote, voted into office have any power whatsoever all the power comes from the shadow or deep state government. Now you can unfriend me and unfollow me. I just cannot and will not put up with people siding with known liars. I just won't. The Daily Sheeple is reporting Facebook has a patent to literally use your camera and watch your emotional reactions. Let's take a look at that one in the last few minutes here. This is from Claire Burnish over at Daily Sheeple. Thank you, Claire. From the 9th of June, 2017. In its latest dystopian innovation, Facebook has decided it would like to surreptitiously spy on people through their cameras, employing contentious facial recognition technology to analyze their emotions. In essence, this amounts to reading a person's mind. A recently resurfaced patent filed by Facebook previously evinces the social media platform's remarkably Orwellian goal of reading users' emotions upon encountering various content, information which would then be used to tailor material for relevance to a person's mood. Flatly called, quote, Techniques for Emotion Detection and Content Delivery, unquote, the patent, filed in November of 2015 and rediscovered by New York-based marketing intelligence firm CB Insights upon its granting on May 25th, 2017, quote, would automatically add emotional information to text messages predicting the user's emotion based on methods of keyboard input. The visual format of the text message would adapt to real-time based on users' predicted emotion. As the patent notes, and as many people have likely experienced, it can be hard to convey mood and intended meaning in a text-only message. This system would aim to reduce misunderstandings. The system could pick up data from the keyboard, mouse, touchpad, touchscreen, or other devices, and the patent mentions predicting emotion based on relative typing speed, how hard the keys are pressed, movement, using the phone's accelerometer, location, and other factors, unquote. It seems the Goliath social media platform's goal, at least superficially, is to keep users interested enough to make visits to the site longer in duration. I am going to put this up on American Liberty Radio podcast. You just scroll on down there, and there she be. Right down there. The question among some of the users of Facebook, the question that I have for those people, even I because I use Facebook, my question to all you is, who is the computer genius and the programming genius that are going to come together as partners to create something that will just destroy Facebook? We're talking completely annihilate it from the interwebs. That's what I'm looking for. NaturalNews.com is reporting global warming hoax unravels. Globalist scientist fraud engineered to control humanity, not save it. So there you go with that one. That's on American Liberty Radio podcast as well. CNN actually admits they published fake news, forced to reissue retraction. CNN's gone, folks. Don't even worry about it. Leftists threaten riots, assassination if British Prime Minister remains in office. That would be Theresa May. That's on American Liberty Radio podcast. But let me touch on that just for a minute. Leftists have responded to Theresa May's attempt to form a new coalition government after the British general election by threatening riots and assassination if socialist Jeremy Corbyn is not installed as leader. This comes from Infowars.com. Paul Joseph Watson, 9th of June 2017. So that's up on American Liberty Radio podcast. What else is there? What else is there? I mean, when we look at the completely devastated environment of what is going on in our country, when we look at this, when we examine each and every single item, okay? When we look at every single item and we begin to examine it, obviously you say, well, I don't want to see it all because I'll go crazy. It's just too much to handle. Ugh. When you see each and every single item, don't you sit there and question why it's there and what purpose it is, or what purpose it serves? Michael Snyder, EndOfTheAmericanDream.com, 12th of June 2017. Thank you, Michael. They want to make the rest of the country just like California. About 5 million people who migrated out of the state of California over the past decade, and most of them are leaving for very good reason. If millions are leaving California because life is so horrible, then why would those same people want to try to make their new communities more like the state they just left? Sounds like immigrants from another country, right? About 5 million people have migrated out of California over the past decade, and most of them are leaving for very good reasons. The number one destination for ex-Californians is Texas. And this has caused the state to move a little bit to the left politically. For example, Trump beat Clinton by only about 9% in Texas back in November. It is getting to the point where many people in Texas are starting to resent anyone with a California license plate because there are so many ex-Californians that would like to turn Texas into another version of their home state. Similar things are happening here in Idaho. It seems like half of the people this is what Michael Snyder says. Similar things are happening here in Idaho. It seems like half the people that my wife and I met are transplants from California, and some of them are exceptionally good people. Like my wife and I, this is Michael Snyder speaking, a large number of them decided to move here because they wanted to find some place where they could live free. Needless to say, North Idaho seems like paradise to many that have just escaped the nightmare of living the California dream. But there are others that move up here, Michael Snyder says, from the Golden State that are absolutely determined to impose their leftist values on all the rest of us. But if those values were such a failure in California, then why in the world would you want to bring them here? I can say the same thing about Montana. I was born and raised in Stockton, California. Michael Snyder continues and says it has been estimated that over a quarter of all new Idaho residents come from California. If they are coming here to embrace our way of life, that is wonderful. But if they are coming here to try to change us, that is another thing entirely. In many ways, North Idaho is very similar to Northern California because it was completely spoiled. Not too long ago, KQED interviewed one ex-Californian that said the wooded mountains here reminded her of, quote, the California she knew in the 1970s, unquote. But of course, there are others that come here with the intention of making their new home much more progressive. Fortunately, the number of crazy leftists is still fairly limited at this point. Hillary Clinton only received 27.5% of the vote in Idaho last November, and so this is not going to become a blue state anytime soon. Michael Snyder says, I just don't understand why anyone would want to move to Texas or Idaho or anywhere else and try to make it more like California. Just consider the following. California has the highest state income tax rates in the entire country. California has been ranked as the absolute worst state for business for 12 consecutive years. Los Angeles has the worst traffic on the entire planet, and San Francisco is not too far behind. Thanks to unchecked illegal immigration in sanctuary cities that are allowed to flout the law without consequence, gang activity and crime are growing problems in the state. And of course, the state legislature just continues to pass one insane law after another. The one that requires farmers, quote, to cut methane emissions from dairy cows, unquote, by 40% by 2030 is one of my favorites, as Michael Snyder says. Cow farts, folks, cow farts. And just recently, a group of California state legislatures decided it would be a grand idea to try to push through a single-payer health care system that would cost taxpayers $400 billion a year. If you and Michael Snyder says at Economic Collapse, if I can speak. See, I need to be caffeinated, folks, when I do this stuff. All right. EndoftheAmericanDream.com, Michael Snyder says, if you follow my work on a regular basis, you know what political correctness is. You know that political correctness is one of my pet peeves, and California has become the epicenter of political correctness in our nation today. Things have gotten so bad in the state that it is now considered to be a, quote, microaggression, unquote, for professors in the University of California system to tell their students that, quote, America is the land of opportunity, unquote, because it might offend someone. Michael Snyder goes on to say, when I was a young adult, I once dreamed of living right along the coast in California, but I couldn't imagine living there now. He goes on to say, that once great state has become a symbol of everything that is wrong with America, and instead of making the rest of the country more like California, what we actually need to do is make California much more like the rest of the country. That's going, that is on American Liberty Radio Podcast, or it will be, as soon as I get to, putting it up there. I grew up in Stockton, California. I grew up in a town that literally, I got to say this, that literally went from a fantastic little bedroom community, as my mom used to call it, okay? Went from a bedroom community to this completely destroyed state, void of logic, void of any type of protection for people anywhere in the state. Okay? I grew up in Stockton, California. I call it the armpit of California, but it really isn't. It's more like the ass of California because there's so many people there that absolutely have no guts, no backbone, no nothing to stand up to the criminals that we call domestic terrorists, or as you know them, street gangs. Okay? They have absolutely no backbone whatsoever. Okay? And if you do go against somebody who is of a criminal nature, I don't care who it is, from the city council to a street gang member, it doesn't matter, you yourself as a citizen will be in trouble for violating the law. Yeah, it's called harboring fugitives from Mexico and putting them in street gangs where they can be protected by Governor Jerry Moonbeam Brown. Yeah, you've heard Moonbeam. I have to enunciate my words. Governor Moonbeam Brown. Well, because his head's in the clouds. He doesn't know what he's doing. He damn near destroyed the state when he was governor before in the early 70s. And he's definitely destroying the state now. It's already gone as far as I'm concerned. And a lot of people are leaving California, as that article, as I read from Michael Snyder into the AmericanDream.com. California's done. I cannot and will not sit here and say, oh, California. No. No. People know who have left California and moved elsewhere. They know that California's done. They know it. I would say that the most corrupt states, top three, basically, number one, Washington, D.C., number two, New York State, and number three, California. Washington, D.C. is a city state, so, I'll put that in there as well. But they're number one. New York is number two, and California is number three. But still, corruption runs deep in California. Corruption is just, it runs deep. I chuckle because if I continue to go on that train of thought, I guarantee you for the next 2.5 minutes, you're going to hear a lot of words that, only truckers and sailors say, okay? So, I'll just stop right there. I'll stop right there. But the facts are the facts, folks, and I'm not even going to sit here and twist your arm and say you're going to have to do this. Well, no. I just encourage you and suggest you go out and look this stuff up on your own. You don't have to believe me. You call me every name in the book and make up a few. I don't care. Because I know the truth. I know the facts. That's just the way it is. And no, don't give me this crap. Oh, it's your truth. It's your facts. No, it's the facts. It's the truth. Okay, period. End of sentence, done. So you lefties out there, I'm not even going to call you lefties because that's insulting a lot of people. So let me just put it out there for both of you rhinos and dinos that are out there, Republican and Democrat in name only. You people are part of the Progressive Party, and you are what's wrong with this country. Period. Done. You need to be fired and arrested and have your ass thrown in prison for your treasonous actions against the people of the United States of America. Okay? That's just the way it is. This is just the way it is. And if we the people had our way, yeah, you'd be in Gitmo at this point. Okay? I'm just putting it out there. You guys can, you listeners out there can figure out the rest of that. I mean, please, I suggest go and check this stuff out. But that's my opinion. Like it all is, it's all my opinion. So I'll just leave it right there for today. I will get back tonight on The Truth Experience at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on American Liberty Radio Network. American Liberty Radio, sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.